Hello and welcome to another C# video tutorial. This one is going to be 07 while loop E. So this is a single dice game. What happens is you can look at one person rolling a dice, and if I roll a dice and I get a 4, like it says right here, then someone else can try and match your roll, and then they might bet on that. And we're not going to deal with any betting or anything like that right now, but just so you know, then we're going to test to see how many rolls a random roll generator will take to get a 4. So it says your roll is a 4. So the computer generated a 4 right off the bat. Press any key to see how many rolls it takes the computer to match your roll. And I'm going to hit enter. So the computer roll number 1 is a 4. It took the computer 1 time to match a roll. Now press any number to continue or 999 to end the game. So I'm going to talk about the 999 in a little while, and I'll show you a little bit of code on that one. So this is called using a sentinel when you have some sort of code to end the game. So if you want to be out. So I'm just going to press a 3 right now, and that means I'm going to try again. So your roll is a 5. See how many times? Press any key, and the computer rolled a 1, a 3, a 4, a 3, 6, and then a 5. It took the computer 6 times to match your roll. Press any key to continue. And I press the number 7 this time, and it runs. Your roll is a 2. Press any key to see how many it takes. And computer roll is a 2, so it took 1 time to do that. Let's talk about the sentinel now. In the sentinel, we use a while loop on the outside of basically the entire game. We generate some variables, and then we give our little introduction to the game at the beginning. But once we start our while loop, we use a restart. So I used a variable called a restart, which is when I press any number to continue. So restart is equal to a number. And then we say not equals to, which is the exclamation mark equals 999. So if I press 999, and you can do whatever number you want, and then I hit enter, then it ends the game. So the while loop is saying play, keep playing, as long as it is any number but 999. Take 15 minutes or so to attack this problem. It may take longer than that, but before you check my code, give it at least 15 minutes before you check my code, and then you can come back here and see what it looks like. All right, happy coding. All right, welcome back to the section where we're going to look at the code. Here's our namespace. Here's our main class. There's our curly brackets. If you click in front of the curly bracket, you can see the end. This is the curly bracket that ends the namespace. And here is the curly bracket that is for our main method. I started off by setting up some variables. I did an int, so an integer variable called counter. And so that's counting how many times the computer tries to get it. I did an integer called myRoll. So whatever my roll is, so the computer generates my roll number. And then I did a integer called comp_roll for computer roll. And then I did an integer restart. So I did a console.writeLine, parentheses, quotation mark, welcome to our dice game, quotation marks, parentheses, ending with a semicolon. Then I did an empty console.writeLine just to leave a space. Then I did my while. So this is my while loop that has the sentinel. So here's the key. If I want it to keep going, I press any number and press enter. Unless restart, because anytime I press the number at the end, I'm setting it restart. Like right here, restart is equal to console.readline. So anytime I put in that number and then it gets converted to an integer and pushed into restart, it goes back to the while loop, and so that number goes in here. If the number is equal to 999, then the while loop ends. So you just keep running all the time. This isn't not an infinite loop, but a constant loop until we hit that sentinel number 999. We get started with random number generator equals new random parentheses parentheses semicolon. Then we're going to say number generator, because that's the name of our random, number generator dot next parentheses 17, which means it can be any number from 1 to 6, parentheses semicolon. Then console.writeLine says your role is a quotation mark space, so that it's got a string. Then we concatenate it with my role, and that's what we just got done here by the computer. Then it says console writeLine, press any key to see how many roles it takes the computer to match your role. So I just wanted a little pause in the game for the person to think, oh, that's what I got. Now here it's going to go, and it won't start until console.readLine. And then counter is equal to 1. Then inside the while loop, we're going to run a while loop to constantly get the computer to generate a new number all the time until it equals my role. So my role, it's going to run until my role, which it was done up here, equals the computer role. So comp role is equal to number generator dot next, same thing, parentheses 1 comma 7 parentheses semicolon, console.writeLine computer role, so a string plus the variable and a string plus the variable. And then every time this while loop runs, it's going to keep running until the two match, but we got to add the counter. So counter plus plus, which is the same thing as saying counter is equal to counter plus 1, semicolon. Then we end that embedded while loop, so we know it's over when these two are equal. And then console.writeLine, it took the computer counter minus 1 times to match your role. Console.writeLine, press any number to continue, or 999 to 0. Okay? Then here is where we deal with the sentinel. This is the part where it says restart equals convert to. So this is where I, the user, puts in their number, either 999 to end or any number to keep playing. So it goes back to here. And that is how you do a single dice game where you're having the computer try and match your first roll. Thanks for watching.